Welcome to Point Blank, brought to you by Fitz Roofing. I'm Brandon Stranger, Sports Map Houston. That's Joel Blank of ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Please like this video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we do appreciate the support. Hey, Joel, welcome in, and Merry Christmas this week. Hey, this week, CBSSports.com released their rankings of NBA rookies thus far, and I think it was the sample size for statistics was just this week, but wouldn't you know it, 2 Rockets are on that list, and which if you had told us that at the beginning of the season, we'd be like, yeah, that sounds right because they have the second overall pick. But as we know, Jalen Green's been sidelined with that hamstring. He's a Houston athlete, so of course he's been sidelined with a hamstring. Josh Christopher at number 7 on this top 10 list. Alperen Sengun at number 9 on the list. Sengun is the more polished of those two. Are you surprised to see Josh Christopher ranked as highly at this point?
I really am, Brandon, and it's because when they drafted him, he was going to be a project. You know, he spent 1 year at Arizona State. He got James Harden's number down from the rafters because he was supposed to be the second coming of the beard, but then everybody watched him and said he's not even a whisker or a mustache, let alone the beard. But they drafted him as a project, but to his credit, he has worked his butt off. After games, if people stay late, they see him on the court getting shots up. He went to the G League with a purpose to learn what he didn't know and understand what they wanted him to do. And he's come out as a much better player than when he came out to enter the NBA draft. The Rockets really may have something there that they can develop. I believe these two guys are going to flip-flop, though, before the season's over, because the more you watch Alperen Sengun and the more you see how gifted he is as a passer and his ability with his footwork to get open shots when he's contested and the way that he's able to manipulate his body to get rebounds, he has no ceiling right now. And we understand the number 2 pick in the draft, Jalen Green's going to probably end up being something along the way. But the one thing with him being out that we have discovered is 3 of the 4 guys they drafted in the first round have the potential to be really good for a long time for this franchise.
Yeah, absolutely. Hats off to Raphael Stone on what seems to be a successful draft. Christopher has been featured more lately, obviously because of the depth issues. But Sengun is the internet darling because he's so fun to watch, no doubt. But part of his minutes restrictions has been due to foul trouble. But even when Wood was out, Sengun didn't start. Would you like to see more of Alperen featured than he is right now?
Yeah, I think Sengun deserves those minutes because every minute he's on the floor, he's developing, he's getting experience, and he's getting better. And so maybe before the deadline, as much as the Rockets fans want to see Eric Gordon go somewhere else and hopefully find a home for John Wall, maybe Daniel Tice is another guy that a playoff team is interested in because they need big man help. Because the one thing the Rockets need to do is not stunt the growth of Alperen Sengun and let him start and let him get as many minutes as possible. And if you think that Christian Wood's in your plans long-term, let him play alongside him. But let him play on a consistent basis with that young nucleus of talent that's going to be there around him as long as he's a Rocket, like Green, like KPJ, like Christopher. These are the guys that he's going to learn to play with and develop chemistry with because he's going to play with them long term. This team is in complete rebuild mode, but they have a nucleus of players you can build around, and Sengun is absolutely one of those guys.
You mentioned Jalen Green. He is on the verge of returning. I want to talk about the implications of that. Before I do that, tell us about Fitz Roofing.
Well, we love Fitz Roofing. They're dedicated to the people of Houston, and it's all season long, but especially now. If there's a little chill in the air and you want to know if there's something wrong with your roof, a leaky roof or roof repair, maybe it's on your business or your home, or maybe you need something done like a fence in the yard or home repairs. They do it all. Check out fitzroofing.com, but better yet, call them 832-521-3001. Free, no obligation inspection. They come to you and tell you what they can do to fix your problems. Costs you absolutely nothing. And if you go with them, they're the best in the business with the best warranties and the best products and the best service. Check them out today. Fitz Roofing, making a difference one home at a time.
So Jalen Green is on the verge of returning back from that injured hamstring. While he's been gone, the Rockets have started to figure some things out. The ball movement's been better. He's had time, has Jalen, to sit back and watch this team play and see why they're more successful now. Do you think that experience sitting and watching them as they've started to develop will help him to improve and understand what he needs to do more on the court? Will he have helped figure it out, or does he need to get some minutes to understand how that passing and how that offense is working?
Well, I go back to this in a previous conversation we had, Brandon, and that's the fact that when KPJ was out, he said it was so valuable to sit and observe and realize that he wasn't being the player he could be or should be because he was trying to do too much. And that's all you can hope for, that Jalen Green, whether he gets help and some of the assistant coaches also are there to guide him along the way. But while he's been out, the subliminal message of all the people in post game when they're interviewed is the ball isn't sticky. There's not a lot of isolation. You're finding the open man. You're unselfishly scoring the basketball, and we're playing together as a team. Those are messages that were indirectly sent to Jalen Green to say, hey, look, when you come back, you can't be who you used to be. You have to be who we are now. And that is everybody for the betterment of the team, passing, moving, without the ball, with the ball, sharing, and making sure the best open player gets the shot, regardless of who it is and at what time in the game. And if he learns those things, he's going to realize the team's going to be better, but in the long run, he's going to be better because the shots and the shooting percentages and all the things that were less than stellar this year were based on him trying to do too much. Isolation one-on-one, pullback one-on-two, contested jump shots, not taking advantage of his strengths like his length and his athleticism and his jumping ability to go to the rim, get some easy baskets, get fouled, get points, but help his team. If he can learn those things, that's what the coaches are there for. But he can make this team better, but in the process will make himself a much better NBA player quicker than what Rockets fans have seen so far.